Mm-mm. How's everyone doing this morning? Let me adjust this camera. Today we're making a cute little baby shower gift box. How cute is this? It's so cute. So this is the front. And then we have the sides and the bottom. And the back. And the inside image. So cute. Oh my gosh. And I printed it. This is 13 by 19. I printed it on koala matte paper. I am just loving the matte. Well, yesterday I did glossy, but today's all about the matte. So for this, of course, you know you're gonna need your foam board. I guess I didn't get mine. Foam board, I'm probably only gonna need one, but I have two just in case. And then of course you need your glue gun. Glue gun, glue sticks, your blade, and some replacements. This box does have a cutout in the front right here, so you're going to need double-sided adhesive and acetate. And then of course you need a flat surface and metal ruler. I probably need so we do need metal ruler. It is Sunday. I'm not trying to hold everybody up, so I'm gonna just get started and people can just, you know, come in or watch the replay. If you've seen any of my other videos, I love to take off all the white, mainly on the images that have straight lines. So I'm just taking off all the white, and I'm only doing this because I want to save as much space on my foam board as possible. And you're gonna see me maneuver the page because I always have my ruler on top of the image. That way I know I'm not gonna, you know, my hands aren't gonna accidentally cut off the image, because that has happened to me before. How's everybody's Sunday going so far? This little baby Lotto turned out super cute. I am definitely going to be listing it after I get off of here. I have to do the baby boy one, and then I'll list it in my store. I'm like, everybody's having a baby these days, so might as well switch it up from Father's Day and do something extra cute. So of course, you know, the inside image is going to be left on the side because we don't want to confuse ourselves and accidentally place it on the foam board. Listen, I've done that before multiple times. I get my foam boards from Walmart, but I do hear Hobby Lobby has really good sturdy ones. But the Walmart ones are pretty nice too. So, and Walmart is close to my house. That's why I get it. But one of these days, I'm going to order some from Hobby Lobby just so I can test it out and maybe do like a comparison, you know, to see if one is better than the other or if I can just work with both. So because this box is 13 by 19, so we will be needing, the gift box is going to be 13 by 19. So we'll be needing like one and maybe a little scrap for the other pieces. So I'm just going to peel a little piece off the backing. Again, this is sticker paper. It is matte koala. And I'm just going to place it down. Smooth that out. And then I'm going to rub it down. That way I make sure that I have no air bubbles. If you guys ever have any questions, just put it in the chat and I will see it periodically. Now this box is pretty simple, so it definitely shouldn't take a long time. Then that train, oh my gosh, the train was super cute, but that train took a minute. Okay. Make sure you're rubbing all those air bubbles out. And we have two, the front and the back on here. And I'm going to get, should I just use this? I'll just use this. I have like a box full of scrap pieces, but I don't feel like going over there to get it. So I'm gonna just use this piece and we're just gonna put this on here like this. Again, trying to save as much space as possible on the foam board, because let me tell you, them scrap pieces come in very handy. And there's no right way or wrong way to place the image. My image is going crooked because this is just going to be pieced together. There's no trifold, quadfold, or anything like that. So you can just put it on here however. Okay, boom. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to take off all this excess foam and separate it. And the only reason I flip my ruler over is because the little corks definitely gives a little bit of elevation, and I like for it to be flat. That's why I flip mine over. Other than that, it's fine to do it on the corks. If I am doing it on something super glossy, I will cut on the corks. That way it doesn't move, because that's why they put it there, so that your ruler doesn't move. No matter how much space I think I have on my desk, no matter how big my desk is, I still have no space. I'm gonna have to change this blade. It's not horrible, but it's not as smooth as it needs to be. I'm gonna have to re-up. I stayed with Fresh Blades. You wanna know the key to smooth cuts? Fresh Blades. I changed my blade. Well, the blade actually tells me when to change. Like this one, you see how it's starting to cut like this? And that's when I know. And I can feel it in the cut, and that's when I change it. I should have tested it before I cut. And you can just easily test it by getting a scrap piece of foam board and like cutting. And that's the difference, because that's a smooth cut. And so let me tell you, because sometimes even when you change the blade, the blades are still a little dull. Because I've changed put in a fresh blade and the blade was still dull. So you might have to change blades multiple times. And I do find cutting the glossy vinyl, you have to change blades more than once for sure. So again, I'm going to place my ruler on top of the image, the design, so that it's protected when I cut. And the ruler definitely helps. And what you definitely need a metal ruler. You cannot do this with a wooden ruler because the blades are sharp and if you happen to deviate, your hand happens to go a little to the left, then you're gonna cut the ruler and your paper. So you definitely need that metal. Okay, there we go. So now we have our sides cut out. And rectangles are like, and squares are literally the easiest. No lie. So now we're gonna do the baby bottle. This design is like super cute. Can you believe I was sitting, well, not necessarily this, but I had a baby bottle design in my Canva for at least 2 years now. I haven't released it or anything, it was just sitting there. And so all I did, the one that I had in my Canva was created with Canva elements. So all I did was went to ChatGPT and I got my little, stuff. And I think and the only reason I did that is because sometimes, Canva, if you don't have Pro, you don't get the elements. So with me creating my own, it's easier for everybody to be able to use it without Canva being like, you owe $1,000 or you can't print this. So all I'm doing now is I'm cutting off the extra white just so that I can have better control when I get to cutting. Now, when it comes to cutting things like this, number one, like I said, your blade needs to be sharp. You need to make sure you have a fresh blade, or it's going to be very difficult when you need to go around these little curves. And then you just like take your time. And I even piece things together. So I'll, for example, cut this piece. There's like literally no rush. You have to take your time. and then I'll peel it off. So I will piece it like this the whole time just to make sure that my cuts are like, you know, amazing. I will even do the bigger pieces first and then go tackle the smaller pieces. If anything has any extra curve, I'll just cut it and just cut around it and then go back to it after. And you definitely want to make sure that you add a good amount of pressure so that it is penetrating the paper on the other side. And if not, if it doesn't come off easily, all you have to do is flip it over and cut it. Because sometimes, especially when you're going around, cutting on the other side of the paper, like, you know, penetrating the other side of the paper while you're doing the cut can be a little difficult. Especially when you get to different points. And like I said, you definitely want to make sure that you're taking your time. See? Boom. Have you guys made, if you've made a gift box before, put a 1 in the chat. Okay. I started off with the vending machines around Easter time. That's when vending machines were really hot. And when I first seen them, it was a little intimidating because it looked like it just had a lot going on. And that was my first time seeing any type of like foam board project. And I'm not gonna lie, some of the boxes that I seen weren't exactly clean and pristine. So it definitely was a turn off. Cause I remember thinking to myself, like, who is going to buy that, you know, school project looking gift box? And so it definitely was a turn off for me, for sure. Because not only did it look like a lot of work, it didn't look nice for the amount of work that people were, that it looked like it needed to be put into. And so for the longest, that whole Easter season, I was, well, the beginning of the Easter season, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make this. I was refusing to even try. But it kept popping up on my feed. And what was once selling good the first year was not selling good the year of the vending machine. And so one morning, I was just like, you know what? Just let me see. And then I ended up looking at it. I bought a template off of Etsy. And you know, the templates at that time, they were 8 by 10. Was the smallest size for a standard printer, because that's all I had. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out why didn't they just utilize the whole page. So I spent my whole day trying to create a full page vending machine because I didn't want to use the 8 by 10. And that's how I got into not only creating the gift boxes, but designing them. And then that's when I tried to do the trifold method. Because I was definitely trying to find a quicker way to do them. One where I didn't have to, you know, figure out how to piece them together. Yes, because I keep my blades sharp. That's what I be trying to tell y'all. I keep my blades sharp. I take my time. And I do it in pieces like you see me doing right here. Especially when it comes to these ones. Now, I definitely live for I always get excited, even though I'm the one designing and creating the gift boxes. When my gift box doesn't have like intricate cuts or cut out window, because I know those ones are going to go super fast. Like the sports locker we did yesterday, that one went really fast because it was all straight lines. And you definitely want to make sure that your cuts are great, because you can't charge good money for something that doesn't look like it's worth it, you know? And these boxes take time. And I can feel it in this blade. It's starting to get a little dull. See, so like this, I'll go back, and this, I'll go back and round it when I'm done cutting the rest of the board. And when it comes to curves, you see how I'm cutting with one hand, and even though this blade is moving, this hand right here is moving the board. So my both hands are working together to get around those curves. And so boom, now the shape is covered. Now I'm going to just go through and I'm going to cut this part off. And I'm going to have to hold it down because it is on a little... And if you have anything that needs to be cleaned up, like this little thing right here, I'll just flip it over and then I'll trim that off like this. Like that. I think that's good. Okay, so now it's time to cut off the inside. I'm going to use my ruler to help with the straight lines. You feel that? And that's why I stay with the blades on the side. That way I can just switch it out. And the replacement blades aren't super expensive. I think I get 300 for like $10 or something like that. So they're not that bad. No excuses. And it just feels better. It feels better when the blades are fresh because it's so smooth. Okay. Sometimes when after I already designed it and it's so cute and then I go to cut it and I'm like, girl, what were you thinking? And I'm like, I was thinking it was gonna be cute. But having to go away and cut this stuff out. I need one of them little Cricut Ventures. But it's always also worth it when it's all done and it looks super cute. And this little elephant has little hairs on her head. Child, I might just cut those little hairs off. What do y'all think? Should we make her a little bald-headed elephant? because you see what I'm saying? I cut it and you can barely tell, especially the ones that has to meet. Those are the ones that are always, you have to go through and make sure that those lines got cut.
Yeah, because she probably remembering that. She probably remembering that more. Oh, yeah.
Boom.
You know, she really don't be sticking around like that. You know? Mama, I'm just saying, because you making her thought she's a happy-go-lucky and that, them kids, she remember. Oh, I know. I didn't think she was ghetto. I saw her before.
Okay, boom. Here we go. So I'm going to set this to the side, and then we can put the acetate after. But let me just finish doing this. And then we're going to save this because we're going to use that as our guide when it's time to do the acetate. So this one doesn't have too many things to do except for cutting out the bottle. So we are good to go for this one. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat.
Yeah, he's always going to be. I mean, he's 21.
Thank you.
And Noah. Because I know how they are, and I'm not trying to be funny. In my room, because it's a party with little kids. Like everybody is. Mom, I know, but all of her friends are. Yeah, go say she want to hang out with no 14-year-old, 15-year-old. What? No, Bryce's not grown. I know you like to make them grown, but she's not an adult.
Boom. Let me make sure I don't have anything that needs to be cut off. Okay, so now this is good. I'm going to, now we're going to have to cut this. The thing is, we're going to have to cut this by hand. Because it's going to have to go on there. That's the only thing. Now this inside image is definitely always optional. It just looks really cute when you have something in the window when people are peering through, even though there's going to be stuff in the box. I don't know. It's just a little extra. And I tend to be a little extra sometimes. Thank you. This is, no, in the masterclass, you get the templates that we create during that time. So this is definitely going to be in the all access, in my quarter 2 all access. But for the masterclass, you get the templates that we create during the class. Okay, I'm almost done. Woo. That was a whole mission. So this is the inside. And it goes on the back like so. I tried to do my best to like flip it, make sure that it's gonna be measured exact, but sometimes it don't be, I don't know what be happening. But this one looks pretty good. And I'm gonna put something heavy on this end. That way I can lift this side with no problem. And then seal that down. Then I can lift this up. And slide that image on there. So this is the inside. And this is super cute, even as a prop. So if you have a baby shower and you need some kind of like, you know, baby shower, what is it, centerpiece, like, or even to go on balloons. How cute is this? This is super cute. Okay, so now we have our little cutout piece, and I'm going to take the cutout that we use. I'm going to get my acetate, and I'm going to put it down, making sure that I leave space around the edge, because we're going to have to put our double-sided adhesive. So if any, I do have a gift box masterclass coming up. So if you're definitely interested in learning how to create frames, create the actual templates to make the boxes and things like that, design, measurements, we go over all of that. We go over creating the images and creating boxes like this out of graphics and the measurements needed to create an actual finished box. So we go over everything in the master class. So that is definitely the place to be if you want to know the all in all that I know about gift boxes. And not only do we design and create, we also assemble. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to take the protective covering off of the double-sided adhesive. Get our little bottle, and we're going to place it on there. But before I place it on there, I always make sure to measure it, because let me tell you, once it's down, and there's no lifting it up unless you're lifting up the paper. This is some strong double-sided adhesive. I think all of them are pretty much like that. But then this is what it's going to look like. And I always use acetate. I do not use cellophane when it comes to these gift boxes, because you want it to look as professional as possible. And sometimes cellophane just wrinkles too much, or like, you know, it's too much problems. So just go ahead and get you some acetate. The one that I have It's lasted me like a cool minute because it's the roll, and it only cost maybe, it cost less than $20. So now we have our pieces, which is our front, we have our inside image, we have our back, and then we have the bottom and the sides. So now for this one, the sides, you glue them to the bottom. I always measure before I get to gluing, just to make sure that everything is good, because sometimes I can cut a little crooked and things like that, and I might need to like trim off a little piece, because even though it's right on paper, sometimes it don't be right when it gets time to cut. And I still have some white on here, and that's why it's not matching up exact. Let me trim off the extra white. And you see what I'm saying? Whenever your blades are sharp, you see how skinny that is? Like, you can see me through here. So that's why we keep them blades sharp. Keep them blades sharp. Okay, so now we're gonna take our glue gun and we're gonna glue the side of the bottom. And then we're just gonna hold it. You wanna make sure that you're holding it with good pressure for at least 3 seconds. And I'm gonna get a scrap piece and I'm going to remove all that excess glue that popped up. And then we're gonna do the same. I'm gonna put this on its side and I'm gonna add the glue here. And you definitely wanna make sure that the glue on the other side is a little dry, or else this whole little side wall would have fell off. And then I'm gonna grab a piece. So this is what it's gonna look like. Whenever any of my boxes has pieces that are like this, with a separate top and back like this, that means it's placed like this. So you're gonna glue the the sides to the bottom first. The elephants are going this way, facing me, so I know that my front is gonna go this way. But see how this is on like a little curve? That means that this is gonna be laid down, and I'm gonna put this like this because I don't want it to be like this. You see how the box is right there? I know some people like that, but I don't. That's why I'm gonna lay it down, and I'm going to make sure that I add glue right here. Hi, Noah. Noah's awake.
Noah's awake.
I will be putting the template out when I am done. I have to do the boy version. So I already have the girl version done. So I just need to do finish the boy version really quick. And then I'll put the template out. It will be on sale today.
Noah's awake.
Yes, Noah is awake.
And this is bad. He pooped.
Oh, boy, we better go talk to your daddy. And then I'm going to place it as close to the bottom as possible. And then I'm gonna add that pressure. Noah, excuse me, you are shaking the people.
I'm shaking the people. They're charged.
I know, but you have to wait because I'm using the charger. And then I'm gonna take my glue gun.
Charger right away.
Okay, but no, because I'm using the charger. Go in there. Thank you. Oh, that's me doing the light. And then I'm just gonna put my glue sealing these edges, these creases, I mean. And then I'm gonna take a little scrap. This is a fresh piece of scrap, and we're gonna go and clean it up. And when you're cleaning it up, it actually pushes the glue in, and you want to use a different piece every time because this glue is still wet. So if you use this one, it's going to go through and it's going to jack the whole thing up. And this is pretty much just to make it a little neat. Not only neat, but the caulking is to seal in the glue. So if you have any areas that isn't that didn't actually get glue, that definitely helps, because as you're caulking it, you're putting that glue in and sealing whatever didn't get sealed. So I'm gonna flip this over and I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so for this one, to put it down, it's gonna go like this. But and when I glue, I'm gonna glue it flat, and when I get to placing, I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to make sure that it is kind of like where it needs to be. And I have to glue it standing up because I want this to be leveled like this, and then this is how it's gonna look. How cute is this? This is so cute. So let me lay this flat. Yes, that would be so cute. So I'm using foam board. I got my foam board from Walmart. That's usually where I get my foam boards from. But people live for the ones from Hobby Lobby. I just was saying earlier, I need to order some from Hobby Lobby so I can do like a test. One thing you do not want to do for sure is get any foam boards from the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree foam boards are too skinny, and it's definitely not going to give you any kind of hold that you're going to need if you're going to be putting items in here. So this is what I'm going to do. I have the glue on, and I'm going to, number one, make sure that this is level the way I need it to be. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to lay it flat.
It was good to me. No, it wasn't enough. Mom, you eat a whole lot of meat. You know, a whole lot of meat. They not that bad.
And then we're just going to hold it down.
Von bottom.
So you add that pressure.
I know, but Von's the one that got them,
And so this is what it's gonna look like. It might be a little, but that's okay. Then when you put the stuff in there, it's gonna be, balanced and leveled out. But how cute is this? I do need to go through because the back image had a little extra and trim off the extra piece of sticker paper. So I'm just taking my blade. Usually I do this before I place the images on here, but I didn't think it was going to be like a lot.
I
So whatever trimming needs to be done, usually I do it before I glue this down. That way it can be on a flat surface and I can just take my blade and run it over.
Yeah, Mama, yeah, that's part of his little crap. You know, like, so you just gotta count. Everybody sleeps. She better be getting that what?
You sneaking. The video is gonna be in the featured section. It stays in the group for about 30 days. So you don't even have to worry about that.
It's coming off, you know. I give her 7 days, you know. Even though it might be, cause she was like, well, auntie, it's around like a boo, so let's turn it around. Or what? Yeah, Bryce just came off, and you know, hers coming off. Everybody's coming off.
Okay. So boom, how cute. So now we just have to take our glue gun, close this little area, and then go in here and caulk everything else that didn't get caulked. Yeah.
Oh, she will be fine. She's coming off. She already got it this month. But like the ending or beginning of this month,
Remember using a small new piece of foam board to clean that up every time.
girl, we know.
And boom, it is done. How cute. These are the sides. The back. I probably could have did a better job with it leveled, because I feel like this is going a little bit, does it look uneven? This should have been a little bit further down, the back piece, but it's okay. It's still cute. You can't tell. I can tell. Or this side should have been, this should have been up a little bit on the front. That way it can be a little even with the back, because you see how that's going like that? That's because when I laid it down, I pushed it up, but I shouldn't have done that. But it's still cute.
From the time we turn 35, we're very minimal. And that can last for like 5 to 10 to 15 years.
So the price of my boxes all depends on what kind of box they want. Like something for this, for a small one, I would charge $45. For a medium one, I charge $60. And for the large, I would charge $75 for one of these. So this would definitely be, you know, this size. This is considered a large because it's custom. They can get their pictures on there. So this one would definitely be $75. And then if I'm making something more intricate, that like the trunk, the train, I usually charge like $120 for a big one because it's 2 pieces. You know, so that one is definitely costs more. But something simple like this that just has the bottom, sides, and front and back, you know. But for something like a vending machine, like I said, the trunk for a 13 by 19, because those ones are really huge, would be about $95. And that's empty. This is 13 by 19. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm going, when I get off of here, I'm going to finish the boy one, and then I'm going to put both of them up. And so yeah, I'm going to have the boy and the girl. I'm thinking of doing a neutral. I don't know what y'all think. Should I do like a neutral one? A neutral would be maybe what, like a green or yellow? I don't know, brown. What do you think? But if you have any more questions, just let me know. Let me see if I answered all of them.
Talking about what's this Netflix? It's still buffering. Buffering, like, you know, when you be doing stuff on the internet, things take too long to come.
Oh yeah, beige. Beige is definitely neutral. Yeah.
No, it's his iPad. It is buffering.
Yeah, brown with bears. I went with a little elephant this time because at first it was a little bear because I wanted to like switch it up. But for the neutral one, I definitely probably will do like a beige and brown with a teddy bear for the neutral.
It's always a beach.
Because, you know, bears are definitely neutral.
I understand, like, you want to be the mother. Like,
You said
I know you are, no, but
gender reveal ones.
no. Oh yeah, I know.
Whew. There we go. Okay.
Well, you can come out here if you want to stay. But
This recording will be in the group for
I'm saying it's always
30 days. So you can always come back to it. I will save it and put it on my YouTube as well. So if you need it after that, you can go head on over there. I thank you guys so much for, you know, kicking it with me on this Sunday. Because I know some of y'all be in church or at work. I will definitely be listing the template soon.
oh, you saying, oh yeah, you yeah.
I appreciate you guys. And until next time, happy crafting.